host, judge. So for both, we can start with you answering, Bert. What do you have to bring as a host for the show?
Honestly, I think my biggest talent was that I could read prompter. I think I could read prompter, and I could stay loose enough to make sure that the energy didn't feel stilted, didn't feel rehearsed. It felt fun in the moment, so that everyone was kind of loose. I think the judges felt loose. I think that was my only really talent, was just bringing an energy to make it feel, because we were in a big arena, is that everyone was loose, everyone was comfortable, everyone was having fun. It was kind of like throwing a party at your house, except your house was the Macon arena.
Mm-hmm. And for you, Cody, what do you have to bring as a judge?
I think if you had a rule book on how to judge these acts technique-wise, you had to kind of instantly throw it out, because there's such a variety in the acts that your judging couldn't be based on technique. It had to be judged on like how they just made you feel. And that's where I ended up settling on it. Just, how did you make me feel? I'm clearly not qualified to judge a man wrestling gators or eating spiders or fighting a bull. But I'm going to do my damnedest. I'm going to try my best.
Now, for you, Bert, we got to see you. Well, I had a chance to check out the first episode. We get to see you participate in some of these acts. Like we saw one. I imagine there's a possibility for more. How did that come about, or did you volunteer?
Oh, I volunteer. I'm game. I have impulse problems. That's why I party the way I do. If someone says they want to do something and they need someone, I am the first dude on stage with my hand still in the air. I've always been that guy. I can't help it.
And Cody, do we get to see you participate?
Oh yeah, you'll get to see me participate with some acts, and actually not a single judge was skittish. In fact, when they were all called, every judge, well, with the exception of maybe one, with the exception of maybe one, everybody was game for to be part of these acts, and really honored to be part of them too.
Now, Cody, you come from a background of wrestling too. Did that kind of help integrate for any of the participating acts you have?
I think something that Bert and I had actually talked about ourselves was, wrestling is such a unique, almost odd job, and stand-up comedy. They're these really unique professions. So if in anything, it opened me up to the idea that these individuals, this was their profession, and they were sharing this very unique, close to their heart thing with us. So it just felt good to see, I'm out there in my underwear wrestling other guys every Wednesday on TNT. It felt good to see these unique, strange things that the world doesn't get to see that often, and see people really talented at it.
Now, whoever wants to answer this question, I have a question about the Power Tower.
The
judges pushing this leverage, like, is it hard, or how is the points calculated?
I mean, I never got to push a lever, so I'll let Cody answer. I think it's vibe. I think it's feel. I think it's how they feel is where they push, and they know where they've been in the past, and they know where the end is. And I never pushed it.
Cody?
So we didn't let Bert get near the Power Tower. The Power Tower is judges only. It is 100% though. He's right. You're going off the feel of the actual. It's a throttle. And you're going off the feel of the throttle, and no one had any issues with figuring out where it lands on the tower and throttling down. Everyone had their own style. I was really casual with it. Rosario was pushing it to the limit. But it is really unique. You're not going to see another show that has the Power Tower and the throttle up like that.
So this is a game to win, $100,000 prize. Is it cash, or is it just accumulated in all sorts of bonuses? Or
well, it's in war bonds. So we give them, and if we go to war again, then they can, no, it's cash. It's a check. We give them a check.
Nancy, that's a great question. I think we all, when a winner is declared, you just assume they get the money. That is a really great question. Like, was it cash? Is it a giant check? It was a check, right?
It was a giant check. They got a giant check.
Yeah.
But I don't. I mean, it's so funny. I think I'm still getting checks from the show, so I don't know when they get paid.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I'll tell you this, Nancy, the actual cash prize, we were having so much fun throughout the course of the show. At the very end, as we get into the semifinals and the finals, that cash prize became very real for these contestants. And to start seeing them get a little antsy and get a little frustrated with the judges was unexpected, but it was part of the whole experience.
I mean, we get to see from the first episode, I got to see a bit of frustration. You have the guy in Wheels, who I thought had a really, good chance. And because of the storyline, the determination, because it's one of those things where, he's making the best of what he has with his wheels, pretty much.
I think that's what the unpredictable part of the show is, how the judges react, in my opinion, because acts that you thought of, this sounds bizarre, but acts you think that because of America, where their sensibilities are, where they stand with certain subjects, you would think the judges would apply that to their judging. But for whatever reason, it was purely heart. It was how the judges felt about that act compared to the other acts. And I think I mentioned this throughout the show, I am consistently surprised by how the judges scored. And I think they scored accurately every time, in my opinion.
Oh, thanks, Bert.
So just finalize, what are you one word that describes this show for viewers to watch?
Ooh,
I would say heart. It's easy to say big, but I would say heart, because that was the thing that permeated across the stage and hopefully goes through your television sets, how much this meant to people to be able to show themselves to the world and be on the very first ever Go Big show.
I would say America. This is definitely an American show. I'm not sure they're going to be able to spread this across the pond. They're going to go, what are these, all these people from Florida? Holy cow. I'm saying from Bio Floridian.
Got it. Thank you so much for your time.